Yeah, and then sort of from there, we you know, what you guys have now is the $6 per reels, $3 per reels, you know, editors coming into your DM. So we were struggling, you know, I'll be honest, we were struggling trying to scale this even further. We got it up to 15, 20K a month, but going past that is not very viable unless we wanted to become videographers. But myself and Luke, as you know, Robert, we're not very good with cameras, so it was a bit pointless for us to go and do that. So instead, what we started doing is actually adding mechanisms to our offer. So instead of just short form, we were building appointment setters, we were adding ads into it, and actually scaling businesses and info products further, rather than just having the set of, okay, we're going to get you more views, we're going to make you more money, and you know, we're going to get paid more by doing that. We hit our first $13,000 week, which was amazing. We flew our team out to Marrakesh, which was a sick time. Two of the boys from the UK that work with us, we flew them out. We had you know, a few crazy nights clubbing, but it was a good time. Then we also went to Dubai, and I guess the primary skill here was content creation and back-end systems, knowing that content and one-step services are not gonna last you forever. I don't care who you are, I don't care how good you are. If it's a one-step from your service to the client, any freelancer can take that and use that themselves and charge less. So you're never gonna make it anywhere. Now, what we're doing now is growth partners for education companies. Last month, we hit our first ever $30,000 a month, £24,000. You know, guys from the UK, we know that our Stripe looks awful compared to USA. So $30,000 a month, which is amazing from obviously where we started. And this is just because we learned the skills to take a company from $0 to $50,000 a month. And if you can do that, you are obliged to just say to them, hey, I want to take 10, 20%, and you are comfortable doing that. I was speaking to Nazar, we're scaling, you know, companies, trading communities to $50,000 a month. You take 20% of that, you're making 10 grand a month off one client. So the primary skill that we learned here is sales. Obviously, we invest a lot into sales, you know, working with Hi Sam, our 7-figure sales rep inside multiplyclients.io. Some of you guys probably would have met him already. And just, you know, working on that and obviously getting to a point where we're at $30,000 a month.
Cool. So we want to talk about, first of all, our thesis as to why the current agency model is broken and why it's imperative to kind of adapt in a market where everybody is in the market. Everybody wants to start an agency. You can go on AI in the next 10 minutes. I can whip out my phone and do editing, content, Facebook ads. If I wanted an ad creative, I'll go to AI, whatever, right? So how do you adapt? So first of all, going over the market sophistication cycle. So as an entrepreneur, like I just said, it's imperative to understand that insights, tech, software, I'm sure we've all been on Opus Pro to clip up a few clips, is in the market. And with the high quantity of agencies within the market, with people like Iman Gadzi who get 5 million views of all, you know, start an agency, funnel everyone into the business model, and because it is $0 to start, you get a high quantity of individuals with easy, regular, commoditized services, and money-back guarantees just don't hit the same because the market's seen too much of the same. And when the market of prospects, or when you're going out Instagram, or some of you guys might do Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever it is, when they've seen the same, we'll get you 25 appointments and money back, it doesn't hit the same anymore. We're in 2024, right? Everybody's saying it. So that is just down to the commodities, the AI, the freelancers. Like I said, it's in our belief that with the rise of artificial intelligence, increasing amount of freelancers, commodities within the market, you can't afford to be low value. If you guys have no skill, if you guys have no genuine expertise of what you're doing, we're talking to Nate behind the camera there, he's built up a skill of media buying over the last 4 years, so he can go into companies, charge big, get great return on investment ROAS, revenue. But if you're reliant on, okay, I'm gonna deliver a service and then get this guy from Upwork to do fucking Facebook ads, then you have no skill, right? And when you don't have skill, you're not gonna get paid because all of these people here are just gonna go, hey, Mr. Client, I'm gonna do it for fucking $50 and you're trying to charge 2K a month, right? So yeah.
So extremely high rate of churn. You know, can I see probably who has had their client churn in their first month? I assume pretty much everyone's hand should be going up at this point because, you know, after month one, if they haven't seen for one amazing results, if you're trying to guarantee something in 30 days, you're never going to get anywhere because we all know 30 days you can't change the world. It's not going to happen. You need a longer time span where you can produce something, where you can guarantee something, and it's hard to get people on retainers for 90 days. We all know that. So we need to actually have a skill and actual offer mechanism that allows us to say, okay, we're going to partner with you for 90 days, 6 months, whatever it is. So we're not going to have them churn after 30 days because I promise you now, and speaking from everyone's experience, 30 30 days, you're not going to do anything for anyone, okay? And they're more than likely going to churn for someone cheaper, because you obviously, when you're trying to sell, you're trying to sell them the world. You're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna scale you to this, this, and this. But if you're not realistic, they're just gonna churn after the first 30 days. They're always finding reasons to get rid of your increased profits. You're a commodity, and clients learn your systems. What you guys don't understand is clients will take your systems if you don't build them, if you don't manage them in the right ways, just leverage them themselves. Right. Why wouldn't they? And then low customer LTV and profit, okay? When you're charging traditional retainers, and this is what we had the problem with, and we were speaking to someone the other day, 90K a month, 9K a month profit out of that. It's like, if you're just charging retainers, even if you're charging 5K retainer, you're spending maybe 2K on service delivery. We need to start putting in maybe rev share, maybe performance-based fees, and that's not gonna happen unless we're building an offer that is doing more than just one sort of step.
Cool, so we're gonna go over a few tenets on how to kind of go away from this model where you're essentially charging a 2K a month retainer, your delivery is 1.5K a month, your clients leave you after the first month, you're competing against commodities and kind of going to them from there. Yeah. So the first tenet is work with high leverage clients. So an important lesson we learned with growing our company, it was less about signing new clients every single month, but working with clients we can charge over and over again. So we used to think that in order to increase our revenue, that we need to sign new clients and do more outreach and do more stuff to get new clients in the door, when we actually realized that it's about working with leverage clients that you can charge over and over again. Your business should never be ran on new acquisition every single month. The way you guys make money is acquiring a new client, booking a new sales call, it's gonna be tough. You need that recurring to build some cash flow and then you can go and what you wanna do. So as an agency owner, if you perform your service perfectly, some of you guys may do content, some of you guys might do setting, whatever it is, you're always gonna be constrained to the ability of the client. Right? Again, put your hands up if you worked with a really, really bad client. You're just like, I can't get results for you, no matter what you do. It's because you're not working with leveraged clients. Now, with a low-level business, it's impossible to gather case studies. It's impossible to gather results because no matter what you do, you'll always be constrained by their result. So meaning your capability of charging that client again is extremely low. So the problem with traditional agencies is they fight over scraps. You guys are fighting over brokey businesses that aren't making any money. You can't go into a business and charge them a lot when they aren't making any money. They need to be making 100K a month for you to go in there and charge 6-8 grand a month. This is so important. So, if we look at a multi-billion-dollar company like Rolex, if you look at how they sell to premium clients. Rolex, if you were to go buy Rolex, they'll just put you on the wait list. Why? Because they're not bothered about anyone that isn't making multiple six figures a year. They've just got a customer base and they'll just send the same product to the other guys. Right? It's not about trying to acquire new clients all of the time, because you guys will just run low, especially in this market where there's such big quantity as well. So as you can see, some clients we work with. So Ash sold his company for 7 figures, done over 33 million in sales. Hi Sam, who obviously bring on for the boys in the program.
Yeah, we got Justin as well, 300K followers, TEDx speaker and actor. Recently signed with him, building out a launch plan currently. And also we have Jamie, over $1 million trading financially. This guy is good at what he does. And again, these you can see all these guys here. Not one of them is making less than 100 grand a month. So if we took 10% of their 100 grand, that's 10 grand, that's not a lot. But if you took 10% of someone making 10 grand, you're only making 1 grand. So if you just do the math, you need to be working with these high leverage clients and actually give them an offer proposition that they're happy to all work with, which is why you can see they're all doing over 100K a month.
You guys are never gonna have problems with clients like this. You're never gonna have problems with clients who can sell. You can't go into a business and transform their ability to sell, transform their ability to run a business. You can deliver your service, it's a one channel vertical. There's 10, if you think about business, there's 10 verticals within the business. They offer this, that. If you guys aren't controlling that, obviously to a good ability, some of you guys, if you actually got skill, you can go in and do well. They're always gonna be constrained by their offer, their offers, price points, etc. So when you work with these guys, it's much easier.
Yeah. And then delivering a full stack growth service, okay? So we've already identified that commodities, AI, freelancers, one-step services are going to, net you less money, they're not as valuable, and you're going to have clients that are just going to churn on you, right? So what we need to look at is how we can start stacking the actual offer that we're running to give it more value, to be able to charge more, to be able to work with these higher ticket clients that actually want to work with you. Because I know maybe for a lot of you in here, maybe you're just going in there and you're saying, look, I'm going to run you short form content. If you go to someone doing 100K a month, they're not too impressed with just short form content, right? They don't really care too much. What they're looking for is, there's just a few examples here that I'm going to go through and what we sort of do for some of our clients. So you have audit consultation. Now, if a business is broken, I don't care what you do or what you're running, it's not going to work, okay? For example, if their service delivery is awful and they're not getting any type of results for their clients, if you try and work on client acquisition, then what's the point? Because if there's nothing in the back end to get people results, if you're trying to sign more clients, no one cares about the offer, you look like you're not getting results, but it's just their fault because you haven't identified the actual constraint and you haven't then gone and fixed that. I say it all the time, when you bring on a new client, dig into their whole business. I don't want you to just dig into one little bit or a little bit here. I want you to go through the full game plan, down to branding, down to messaging, down to service delivery, and see, okay, is this client going to benefit me? Can I benefit from this client? Are they going to also get me amazing results? We also have market research. I was speaking to, again, Nazar about this. Having the market research, making sure that we know what competitors are doing in the space, and a full analysis on this. Trust me, working with these high leverage clients, if you don't come to them with a full market research, a full game plan of competitors, people not doing so well, what works, what doesn't work, then they're not going to trust you if you're not coming with that. We also have release, asset, and content data. Now, we launch this all the time, so making sure that either we're collecting emails, SMS, and systems for that to allow us to just, send emails, send SMS, and just collect the data in general. We do this with, outreach. We do this for all clients. We just collect all the data. Your company should just be a data machine. What works the best for if you're doing short form? What works the best if you're doing outreach? What works the best if you're doing Facebook ads? You just need to collect data. The more data that you have, the more that you're equipped to go with.
Cool. Yeah, and this is as well with placing setters, placing team members. So Harvey mentioned there about owning the data, owning the team members, owning the software. If you own the data, own the team, own the software, own the numbers, you own the business. You should never just own the service, right? So if you're just doing short form content, you own the ability to edit their reels. You should own the ability to understand what works, what doesn't work, right? Own it, right? So for example, for some clients, we own their domains. So, try and churn, right?
It's not possible.
And then scaling with ads as well. So if you are guys working with info products, and some of you here doing creative stuff, ads is by far the easiest way to just 10x the entire business once you have that data. Like I said, there's a difference between a company that knows, okay, if we do these reels, it's going to blow up due to X, Y, and Z reasons, opposed to, oh, don't worry, I'll save you time by editing the reel. It's a very, very different business overall. So what we want you guys understanding is by delivering something like this, whatever this is in your vertical, whether you work with B2B, lead gen, whatever it is, something like this. For example, I was having a conversation with one of our clients. He does like cold calling, so he implements like cold calling systems, and his clients were just churning all the time. And I said, why don't you build the system to train the sales team, place the sales team, understand the numbers, place the dialers, have dialing managers, right? So just having that full growth service overall.
Yeah, and with the leverage clients and with this, you will get the best results, okay? Yeah. We're posting a bunch of our GP results because we want to start signing new GP clients. We have results, hey, 8 days into April, I've made 16 grand. They're the type of results that you get. And then if you go to another company and say, hey, I've made 16 grand off this, they're like, okay, I want you to do the same. And that's how you sign them. If you're coming through with, wow, I got 20,000 views on a short. No one really cares, anyone can go and do that. So you really want to be working with these high leverage clients, bringing them a high value service to make sure that you're getting the best results in the market.
Cool. And when you do that, you're able to charge premium prices and you're able to take revenue share with these businesses as well. So due to your ability to work with high leverage clients, you can actually get results, not just, hey, like Harvey said, I got you 25K views on a reel. You're actually, okay, you better scale them to 50K a month, scale them to 80K a month, right? When you actually have those big case studies, you're able to go into businesses, charge premium prices, take revenue share. So when you're handling every single operation, every single constraint for the client, you come in as a growth partner, not a media company, right? You're able to, like I said, charge and negotiate these revenue shares. So to give you context on how cheap you are, because some of you might be thinking, okay, well, if, for example, the client's making 100K a month, I'm taking 10K a month revenue share, doesn't the client churn? Is that too expensive? Just give you context, we're working with a growth partner client. They had an email assistant, a content assistant, 2 editors, and a Facebook ad agency. Right, so they had this payroll fucking constraint. We came in and wiped them all out, right? Why? Because we do emails, we do content, we do editors, and we run the ads. So all of these commodities that they are working with instantly wiped out because we've just come in and done that as growth partners and eliminated all of them, right? And that's cheaper than them paying an email assistant, a content assistant, a Facebook ad agency, right? You can just go get it all in one.
Yeah, and a share revenue allows you to, allows your cash to become extremely explosive, going from, you know, taking this rev share, instead of just, oh, I'll sign an extra 2 clients and that will bring me 6K MRR. With these type of clients, you can take massive rev shares in their company. And like Luke said, when you're doing everything and we called this client here, he just loved to spend money. He loved to hire anyone that was possible. So you're saving them time. So if you're saving them time and making them more money, how's anyone going to say no to that? So if you can start compiling it more, you're allowed to take this revenue share. You can obviously negotiate with your client and still take your retainer. A lot of people don't understand, you still take your average retainer, but with the actual offer that you're pushing, you can also take the rev share too. So I will reiterate the fact that in order to scale, it's no longer about new acquisition, but the LTV of your clients. Okay, trust me and Luke have been on that hamster wheel. We've been trying to, we've run businesses where it's new client, and we've built systems to send thousands of outreach every single day, thousands of cold emails, right? We were, you know, waking up at 5:30 writing first lines, right? Because we thought quantity was where we were trying to go, trying to get new clients every single month, but your business will fail if you're just going to live off of that.
100%. And cool. So if we have a look at this now, you guys can kind of like in your head, kind of like visually build out what yours might look like due to your offer. All you need to understand is obviously your ideal customer profile. So like I said, you guys will all be working with different clients, whether it's info products, whatever it is. And then their financial constraint and their time constraint. Right? So when you are working with bigger people, their constraint is time. It's a time problem compared to maybe a money problem, right? A person that goes on a private jet isn't worried, oh, it's 40 grand. No, it's 2 more hours, it's 3 more hours. And that's a big switch compared to someone who flies economy. It's like, oh, 100 quid for an extra 4-hour wait? Of course, because they value losing money, losing time over money, whereas it's flipped on the other side if you're going after high leverage clients. So obviously understanding that goal, because it's about taking them from here to there. And instead of just doing phase 1, which a lot of you guys are probably doing, are you just like, okay, well, you need to get to here, you're currently here, I'll deliver content. Okay, is my offer good? Is my ads good? Am I scaling? What's the numbers, right? And that's when you can implement this overall.
Yeah, and with the phases, if you don't even want to go into a different sector, we've worked with clients before that take over a sector, for example, that's just content, that's just acquisition, but it's the points inside of that. So for example, you guys know content just isn't editing the videos. It could be market research, could be scripting, could be editing, could be ads, and whatever else that takes them to where you want to go, and just more of a generative ROI that you can, you know, put a figure on, put a number on, and say, hey, we're going to get you to this, and be confident in that, because I know a lot of people are scared about guarantees, etc. We make our clients 10 grand before we even partner with them. Okay, we charge them, we make them 10 grand before we do anything, because we're so confident, because we run every single system, and if we don't hit it, we're just shit. That's just our fault, right?
Yeah, 100%. Cool. So your ability to price your services is dictated by the leverage you're currently operating under. So the variables that build up your specific leverage, and all you guys should know which leverage you're operating under. A big mistake people make is that they look at someone top dog in the industry and they go, okay, he's doing this, so I'll do this. But you guys may be, or maybe not, operating on completely different leverage points, right? When it comes down to your case studies, your personal brand, your ROI and your growth service, your client profile, your contracted guarantee. So if you guys don't have case studies where you're not going to go into a market and start thinking you're going to charge 14K, all right? But once you build case studies, once you build a personal brand, once you build, actually have an ROI for your clients, and it's not just like, oh, you got more views this month, right? We take it back to content because mostly people here are going to be doing some sort of content service. And then you understand all that. So pricing structures. So if you have a look at new pricing structures you can implement, you can try for your own business, may look a little bit something like this. So pricing one could be, for example, you charge a integration fee / setup fee. So this could be 2 to 8 grand. Then once the client doubles their investment, you move the service to 2K to 3K retainer plus negotiated rev share. So now instead of trying to charge people on retainers, and then you've got a tight window of 30 days to get them 5K, 10K a month, which that's why you guys have clients that churn, because you're charging them 2 to 3K, although that's fantastic, and you guys, okay, that's every single month, but it isn't because they'll churn, right? And the LTV is always gonna be 2 to 3K, which isn't even profit. You're paying editors, you're paying media buyers, etc. So when the client doubles their investment, e.g. you build the infrastructure, you build the system, so whether this is setters, editors, whatever it is, then you move to negotiated rev share. And this can be just based on what the client's making, right? And based on where their info product was, if you are guys doing info products, so this could be e-commerce brands, whatever it is, based on where they were. If you're going into an offer that they've already had, you're already doing 20K a month, you scale it to 50, you're not gonna take 30% revenue share. You're just not gonna do it. But if you go into an offer where you build the offer, then you can be a bit higher overall.
Yeah, and then pricing structure 2, integrate and setup fee. So again, 2 to 8K, revenue share. Once client doubled investment, retainer, and then lowered rev share. You also got 30 to 50% rev share up front and bootstrap clients' businesses. Again, this is more high risk because you're putting your money forward. So depending if you're a bit further, for example, myself and Luke would be looking into doing this because we can see potential in clients. They may not have the money right now because a lot of people, especially when we work with creators, they may have 30 to 50K followers, but they may just not make any money whatsoever. So if we come in and say, look, we're going to take 30%, we're going to write in contract, and then we're going to go from there and scale your business, but it's a little bit further in if you just have that cash on you to spend. And then pricing structure 4, 30 to 50% revenue share up front, and then once client makes X, you can do retainer and a lowered percent. What you can also do with the lowered percent, if you guys are taking over certain sectors, is do it off of performance-based sort of fees, right? So if you are, you can't take a revenue share if you're just going to do the content sector, right? It's not possible because there's still so much more that they have to do. What you can do is, hey, if I get you this amount of views, I'm going to take this much. Or if this amount of views generates you X amount of money, I'm going to take this much. And it just allows you to make the money off the performance. It allows you to just, again, scale that company a lot easier and keep them on for a longer period of time.
I think this is something we were talking about with Nate as well. And he was going over when you do make, for example, performance-based revenue share. So you can also say for the client, you can have this structure and you can say, once you make 30K, then I can take 20% of that, right? But obviously the caveat to this is you need skill. You need skill in marketing, because if you don't have skill, if you have poor delivery, then it's gonna be extremely difficult overall.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
The bigger the company that you work with, the more they will give you in the beginning and then they'll take away. So do you guys, anybody in the trading space? So I work with Arctic and one-on-one funding. The more money we make, the less my percentage is, and that's how it's always going to be, and that's how you should come in pivoting that often. In the beginning, always start with trying to get the most, but let's say if I make you guys 100K, then my percentage goes down to 10, 15, because that makes the client feel more comfortable and makes you seem like you understand, okay, we're going to take less money as we make it.
100%, and that's what this pricing structure was all about. Because you're not going to take 50% of a company forever. Right, and the last thing I'll say on this pricing structure before we go into Q&A, I'm not good for time, whatever. Good? Oh, calm, okay, cool. Is that you guys need to understand that you're not gonna take 30-50% of a business forever. If you guys are getting offered something where they're like, okay, let's do nothing up front, but I'll take 30%, they're not a high quality business. Because they have no belief that they're actually gonna make money. Right? Because for example, if they actually believe in their heart and soul that they're gonna make 50K a month, okay, let's do 30% of that. I've dropped out of college, so I'm maths. 15K a month, right? A 10K a month retainer is fucking cheaper than that. But it's because they don't believe they're gonna make that money. So if you guys are getting offered things, and you will, because you'll go out there and you'll prospect and people will be like, hey, we won't do that setup fee, the integration fee, which is super imperative, because if you guys don't have this integration fee, you can't release talent. And talent is so hard to find, right? Yeah?
So if what he's saying is if they're giving you 30%, don't take a rev share, you actually need physical equity. So I've taken 30% of a business, but I have equity in that business. Meaning, whatever the company makes is part of me too, not just a rev share. So if you're going to do that, make sure you get equity in the business.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, this is super imperative. Like I said, with the integration fee, the reason why this is so important is because you need talent. You guys will never bootstrap on your own because you're never going to put, for example, pay a setter 2K a month. You guys are going to go to online jobs PH, you guys are going to try and do 300 a month, and you guys are going to try and cheap it out, and the client's not going to get results.
Yeah, that's why it's better to work with high leverage clients because we've done it so much, right? We charge less because we want to, just get the client on board, but it just ruins the delivery, ruins our reputation. You need to just think and sometimes just have that delayed gratification of, you know what, I'm not going to take this client right now. I'm going to, step away, but then I'm going to look for a different client in the future that is able to pay that, and then you can really release that talent, because we had it before when we were first starting. We were charging like 2K and trying to make them like 20 grand. It's not very easy to go and do that, right? So making sure that you actually have enough to push them to the point where you can just exponentially scale them is obviously really helpful.
And when you guys, like I said, when you follow these 3 tenets, so you actually have, like I said, high leverage clients, you work on clients who can actually get results, you have a real service so you can actually deliver good results, you aren't just like helping on one specific sector, you can then go and charge new prices. And like I said, with these prices overall, this is going to stop you guys from constantly trying to chase new clients, constantly trying to get new acquisition, right? Because you're going to have revenue shares in the background where I can't take on 10. You don't want to work with more than 10. You can sit with 3 to 5, right? Because you've got this equity, but you're only going to get this, like I said, if you actually have a good offer, if you guys are actually good at what you do. But all of you here are young, you know, you're building your skill, you're here, so that's going to be good.
Come on.
Should we go into
Yeah, so yeah, I guess if you guys have any questions that you want to, you know, put up or anything about your agency, offers, pricing, whatever it is, obviously let us know and we'll obviously answer them. Yep.
How do you guys go about your hiring process now when hiring people to kind of hire people to do all the jobs?
Yeah, so luckily we're in quite a fortunate situation where we can just leverage our personal brand. So we've built a personal setter community. Is this for like content editors, setters, just
content editors, setters, or that?
Yeah, what I would try and do is tap into people's in the space, and you're in a great, you know, area here. Tap into people's communities because, you know, guys like us and guys in the room, they build communities for this because we have so many clients that we have to work with that going to online jobs PH just isn't really that viable. So tapping into other networks, there may be some people around here that have communities of setters, have communities of editors, because then what they're doing, they're training them, they're vetting them, they're doing all of this. You find much better talent. You find talent that isn't going to churn. What we found with, you know, Upwork, Online Jobs PH is they're just random people. They've got no training behind them. So you pretty much have to do everything. But when you find these set of communities, you know, it's super simple to do. So even if you go on Instagram, and I don't know how, if you have like a big personal brand or anything like that, you can start building your own. If like, you probably get 100 DMs a day. I'm a setter, I'm an editor. What you can do is build a community of yourself, put your training in there, send over that to them so then they can start learning the training, be in the community. Whenever you need, hey, looking for a setter that's from the USA, this is the pricing structure, X, Y, and Z. You have 20 qualified leads that have gone in there, have watched the training, and now they can obviously work for you.
But big thing's you, right? Because people need to want to work with you. If it's a bad business, if they're getting no results, if you can't sell them and be like, look, I'm this person, it's going to be hard. And that's with a personal brand. We talk about personal brand all the time with acquisition and trying to acquire clients, but hiring is a good one as well. Because if people want to work with you, it's a different ballgame. Cool. Awesome. Anyone else have a question? Go for it. Yep.
How do you attract high-value clients, like you said earlier, to come to you?
Yeah, so pretty much, I mean, it is the cliche after it's about you. I said this to Harvey the other day, and we were hanging out with everyone, and we were like, it's now less about what, it's about who, right? Iman Gadzi, for example, can release a course that we can all release, going over very, very basic stuff, right? Obviously, he's fantastic, but on a baseline level, it's just who he is. So you need to be high value, otherwise clients are not going to want to work with you.
Yeah, and it's the way that you approach them as well. If for example, you're offering this pricing structure, if you go to someone high value and say, look, you pay me $5 grand, I'm not going to take another penny until I make you 10, 20, then you're going to attract, because high value your skill. They don't value someone that's like, oh no, I don't want to take the risk, no, don't give me a guarantee, whatever like that. If you say to them, hey look, this is how much it costs, but I'm going to double your investment, I'm going to triple your investment, then they're going to be like, okay, this guy knows what he's doing, he's happy to go and do that, and that's how you attract and how you get, you know, higher value clients, and how we've gone and done it. And any high value client that we've ever spoke to has just said, it's just the way that we carry ourselves, the way that we present ourselves. If you're coming on and I don't know, you've got your double bed in the back, you've got a couple teddy bears on there, they're not gonna, you know, come in and want to work with you. So it's your perception, the way that you come in, the way that you carry yourself with your offer, with your pricing, and just you as a person. That's how you attract them.
Because everyone thinks it's about guarantees. Everyone's like, well, if I put, you know, I'm going to make them 10 grand, then I'm going to attract the clients. But it's about you, like Harvey said, it's about the perception, it's about what you can do. And when you can build that, it's so easy. So easy to charge good guys. So you just got to build. It takes time to like get real good clients. Like I said, just case study building. But you guys will find unique opportunities. Like you will find a client where you're like, okay, well, he's an actually really good opportunity. He's giving me a chance. If I can get him a good case study, then you can go and just kill it, pretty much. But cool.